Am I the fool for hiding a family heirloom before giving it to my daughter? Throwaway account. I, 35 male, have a beautiful little girl, Lena, 4 female with my wife, Tammy, 35 female, who was gracious enough to support my request in giving our daughter a variation of my great-grandmother's name, Lena. She cared for me as a baby while my parents worked and passed away when I was 7. I was heartbroken, and the only one I felt who could truly understand my pain was my grandfather, Nana Lena's son. We grieved for her together and became best buddies ever since. My Nana was very sick for a while, and towards the end of her life she expressed that one of her regrets in life was never having a daughter to pass down the family pendant to that was given to her by her mother. I told my Nana that I would have a daughter for her so that the pendant could be passed on, and she seemed really happy about that. When she passed, my grandfather got the pendant and told me that it will go to whatever daughter I had, and it was kind of our half-joke / half-serious understanding that we openly talked about for years. Unfortunately, when I was 12 my dad cheated on my mom and got the woman pregnant. I was so angry at my dad because my mom was dealing with depression at the time and he couldn't care less. He married his affair partner after their daughter, Jessica, 22 female, was born, and I promised my dad that I would ruin their big day if I was forced to attend, and when they tried to call my bluff I put blue dye in the other woman's shampoo. After that it was made very clear that I would not be allowed back home until I apologized, but I was so stubborn and bitter that it didn't work, and my dad didn't want to have to pay a large sum in child support, so the threat didn't stick. My mom got me into therapy, which will help me process my anger, but I forever kept my dad, the other woman, and their daughter at arm's length. My grandfather passed when I was in college, and in his will he left me some money and the pendant, which I kept in a deposit box. I never talked about it, and no one ever asked me about it. Fast forward to a couple of days ago, and I showed Lena my Nana's pendant and she loved it. Tammy took a picture of Lena with it and posted it on social media. It got back to Jessica, and I guess my dad filled in the info gaps and is upset that she didn't get the pendant. My dad's other woman is calling me a thief, that I knew I was wrong, which is why I hid it, and is demanding that I give Jessica the pendant as it's rightfully hers, and I'm refusing. She never even met my Nana, never expressed interest in learning about her, never once asked about the pendant, and as far as I know has no legal claim as it was technically willed to me. Am I the fool?
Am I the fool? Little sister got a new car and I left the party. I, 17 female, and my sister, 15 female, used to get along great when we were kids. Since I started high school, it feels like she takes all the attention. Once she started going to my high school, she got really popular. What's annoying is that she acts really stupid and people seem to eat it up. She just giggles and does little dances most the time. I missed my senior prom because I didn't have a date, and she went with one of the other seniors and hasn't stopped talking about how much fun it was. It was recently announced that I am the valedictorian. My dad decided to have a party to celebrate. Our mom left when we were little. Honestly, that felt really good, because even he seems to like my sister more. We're a sports family, and they're always a pair on the couch, and I'm like the third wheel trying to get their attention. He takes her to the mall to buy clothes all the time, whereas I have to take myself. I go to thrift stores because I don't like clothes made in sweatshops. She has her learner's permit and soon will be 16 and get her driver's license. When I turned 16, my aunt gave me her 2015 Nissan Versa, which is always breaking down and smells bad because she used to smoke in it. Every time there is a car commercial, my sister every time sits on my dad's lap like she's a little kid, and whines she wants a car for her birthday. It makes my eyes roll, but like I said, it's like I don't even exist to them sometimes. My sister's birthday is also in May, and she is having a sweet 16 party on a rented boat. Mind you, I simply had a family get-together with cake for my 16th birthday. Last week was the party at the house to celebrate my achievement. I was having a pretty good time at the start. My sister was up in her room taking forever to get ready, and when she came out I saw she had done everything she could to outdo me. Her hair was curled, her makeup was done, she was in a really revealing fit. Everyone was staring at her and ignoring me. It sucked, but I was trying to just focus on my core group of friends. Then as we're all in the living room, we see through the big window a truck with a trailer pull up. The driver comes onto the door, turns out it's a brand new car for my sister from my dad. She's crying and jumping around and hugging and kissing my dad. Everyone goes outside to look at the car. When this happens, I went out the back door, turned off my phone, and drove my 9-year-old car all alone to the beach to be by myself. When I came back, everyone was so angry and yelling. My dad said he didn't know they'd deliver the car during my party. My sister had clearly been crying and said she didn't mean to hurt my feelings, that she just wants to be a good sister and doesn't know why I'm sad all the time. I feel so alone. Am I the fool for leaving the party once the car came? Am I the fool for refusing to give my sister my daughter's outgrown baby clothes? New or throw away, as I don't want this on my mane. So some backstory on both of us. I, 23 female, am 26 weeks, pregnant with baby number 2, a boy. My sister, who we will call Sally, 28 female, is about 20 weeks, pregnant with baby number 5, her first girl. I am a stay-at-home mom. We are technically low income, but are comfortable and have savings, etc. All this to say, we aren't necessarily financially sound, but we don't go without any needs, or many wants. My sister is going on 5 kids, has a track record of choosing awful men, makes very poor life and financial decisions, never has any money for anything. And our family members have her kids in their care more than she does. Our family members also foot most of her bills, including previously providing money for diapers, formula, cars, gas money, etc. My mother asks me if Sally had reached out to me yet. I said no, and asked why. My mom said that Sally is having a hard time, that her boyfriend had run off again, she lost her job, needs a bigger car for the kids, and needs baby stuff as she has nothing for the upcoming baby. My mom told Sally to call me so I could pack up some of my daughter's, 2 female, old baby items to give to her. I told my mom that I didn't have much to give her, and reminded her that I am also expecting a baby. I told her I plan on sorting through our old newborn clothes to sell to the child's resale store to get credit back, so I can buy my upcoming son some clothes, as I really don't see the need in buying brand new baby clothes, and it would help us save some money this way. I mentioned that we were also reusing my infant seat from 2 years ago, as well as the crib, bottles, and just about anything else that I held on to. My mother told me that I was selfish for not handing over any of our stuff because we have the means to purchase our son new items, where Sally does not. She tells me that Sally isn't as fortunate as I am because she doesn't have a good man in her life to provide for them, and she just needs a little help. I told my mom that it is not my fault that Sally has made poor life decisions, nor is it my obligation to help her provide for the children she continues to have but cannot properly care for. I told her that I am not willing to continue to enable her poor decisions, especially when it will affect my family, but if the rest of the family wants to, then to go ahead. My mom has since spoke with Sally and our grandmother and told them my responses. I now have 3 very upset people hounding me, telling me how selfish and rude I am, and demanding that I help my sister out because family helps family. I am now being told that if I am refusing to give her any of our old items, then I should at least be willing to put forth an effort to buy or find her some items and clothes that she needs. Am I the fool here?
Am I the fool for giving up my dad and his wife/affair partner's tickets to my graduation? When I, 18 male, was 8, my family fell apart when it came out that my dad was sleeping with my mom's best friend. I found out a few hours before my mom did. Dad brought us, me and sister now 16 female, over to her house to play with her kids and I saw them kissing. Mom found out when she wondered where we were and came over and caught them in bed together. Mom left Dad moved in with the affair partner who was formerly known as Aunt Mel. My mom put my sister and me into therapy because we did not adjust to the changes. I was lucky enough to be sour enough about it more than a year later that I wasn't at the wedding, because I was clear I would not play along with their special day. We also had a heated exchange a few weeks after he moved in because I told Mom what I saw and Dad was furious with me for making it worse. My mom never badmouthed our dad or the affair partner to either of us. She encouraged us to have a good relationship with them still. 2 years ago I sat Mom down and told her to stop encouraging that with me, because I would never have a good relationship with us again. I stopped seeing my dad 8 months ago. It was close enough to my 18th birthday that I knew Dad taking Mom back to court wouldn't hurt her in any way. But I was made aware that they had booked free tickets to my graduation. We have limited numbers so parents can call the school and order some. Closing happened last week and on the last day I asked the school to give the tickets my dad called in for someone else, which they did. He found out and was furious. He called and berated my mom and demanded she get her parents to give up their tickets for him and his wife. I told him I didn't want them there and I didn't want them in my life anymore. Dad told me I had no right to give up the tickets he had ordered and I had no right to stop him and his wife from watching their oldest kid graduate. I told him I'm not their kid and I'm ashamed to be his. He raged at mom some more after that and he also gave my sister hell until she told him they fucking sucked, so what did he expect? I saw texts on her phone with dad saying all kinds of shit about me. Am I the fool?
Am I the fool for telling my husband that his purchase was ill-advised and that he has to live with it? I love my Tesla. I have had it for almost 2 years and it runs great. I have saved on fuel and I like the tech. My husband just got his Cybertruck. It is hot garbage. But he really wanted it and we could afford it. I said we should wait for the second model so that they could get all the kinks out of the design. He insisted on being one of the first. He loved it when he first got it. Lots of attention. Answering questions for everyone wherever he went in it. People taking pictures. I get it. It was supposed to be the future. Now he hates it. He constantly asks to use my plaid. Which means I would have to use his stainless Aztec. I do not let him unless I know I will not need to go anywhere. I'm not here to argue about that vehicle. Some people love it, some hate it. I know that, but it is neither here nor there. My husband is just upset with me because I am making him live with his decision that I said was not well thought out to begin with. Am I the fool?